What's up, everybody? It's Voodoo here. How to make sure I said the right name. Okay, so with this episode, I know it's been a long time since we've last played, done anything on this channel. I'm ranking Skylanders. Now, some of you might not know what Skylanders is. Skylanders was a game that was made in 2011, if I remember correctly. Let me look it up right quick. I know it's kind of bad that I don't know this, but I really don't. Not off the top of my head. But it was made for, and it was supposed to be Spyro's Kingdom, so it was all about Spyro, but then they decided to change it into Skylanders. It was Toys to Life, made from Toys from Bob, or Toys for Bob, not from Bob. Yeah, October 2011. I should remember that because like October is my favorite month. But so we're gonna rank every single one of Spyros Adventure's characters. For OP, very good, good, decent, bad, and then needs reworked. So recently, there's been a little bit more talk about maybe coming back with Skylanders. Hopefully, they do. The problem is because it's kind of funny though, because Activision, I've looked up the stuff on it, and Skylanders in total made about I can't really say it made $1.5 billion revenue sales, because it really didn't. It was more of like it's basically 15 million when Call of Duty was making 30 million. I know it's not 15 million, like it's I think it made like grossed 150 million, while Call of Duty at the time, plus like with Black Ops 4, including all that, was just about 300 million. With the recent, it's just gotten a whole lot bigger. But so this is going to be our little comeback to YouTube, I guess. So we're gonna get through here, see what we decide. Sorry about the flashing. I don't understand why it's doing that. Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is really interesting. I like him a lot. My thing is that I think he's only as a good character. He's not OP. He's not very good. I'm also doing this so in this whole thing is it's not only how to play. It's not only like gameplay wise how fast, like their abilities. It's also one of the things me and my buddies do is we do PvP. We love to fight each other with these. We love putting random mashups against each other, seeing who can win in a fight. And Lightning Rod is just not it. Lightning Rod was not made for a PvP, and some of these really were, which is awesome, and that's why like they're more very good in OP. But just for Lightning Rod, he has to be on good. He's decent. Like if you find him and you want to get him, pick him. He's a good air Skylander. Next, Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom was my first win Skylander, I believe, for Spyros Adventure. If it wasn't him, it was Warnado. Lightning Rod was like the very last because I got Series 2 Whirlwind. So Sonic Boom, she has a lot of vocalization of her Sonic Screech. That's why she's Sonic Boom. And then not only that, but she's a minion summoner. She can summon little eggs. She can throw her eggs out and throw them and like damage enemies. Not only damaging them with the shell, but also summons the minion, which is really cool. So that's why she's very good. She's also more versatile. I think the only thing wrong with her, with a lot of these Skylanders, is flying. She has a flying move. Kinda sucks. Warnado is somebody I'm probably gonna put. He's either bad or decent. I'm gonna put him as bad. Now these are my takes on it. So Warnado is bad. He's not a great guy that I would love to play all the time. He's fun here and there, but I'd much rather play anybody else, to be honest. Except for a couple on this list, I really wouldn't even touch. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I maxed you out. I'm done. I don't think I'll ever reset you to retry it again. So he was okay. In PvP, he's decent. I'd rather find any other Skylander that is more fun, basically. Whirlwind is good. Now, if you team with your buddy, like say you get a friend, you both go through Skylanders, she has the cool ability of healing your Skylanders, which is really, really awesome. It's a unique thing, which is very nice, but her other attacks different. I mean, it's kind of unique though because she is a unicorn and a dragon mixed, but unfortunately neither one was like, yeah, we don't accept that. We don't accept that in our ranks, which kind of sucks, but I get it. Bash. Now, Bash for me is, in my terms, very good, and other people, I wouldn't say they like him that much. I love Bash. He's very, very fun. He has a cool ability. Like, he gets some Dino Triceratops armor, golden armor, which is awesome. I love it to pieces. But then he has an ability where he can, like, he'll roll in a ball. He can basically get fisted, gets launched up into the air, and then slams down and like a pulse wave maneuver on the ground, which is like eliminates so many enemies, which is so awesome. So he's a very good. I love to use him. One of my favorites, especially in Series 2. Series 2 just with the Giants made it so much better. Dino Rang. Dino Ring is actually, to me, just decent. I mean, I would probably put him good in PvP, but in decent, he's like, in PvE, he's just decent. It takes you a minute to kind of get used to him for me. Like, when I first got him, I was like, okay, how does this go? And then I kind of was like, oh, okay, now I understand the rhythm to him a little bit, which, that's what I love about him. Plus, he's another dinosaur. Him and Bash, even though Bash was like, I'm a dragon. It's like, dude, you got dinosaur armor. If I had to call anything a dinosaur, it's both of you. So, Dino Ring is another cool one. I really like him. PvP though, I don't. PvP, like, he gets outclassed. But you know, with everything about him, plus his mega, like where you get like 2 boomerangs in a circle around him to do crowd control, I'm actually going to switch him back up to good, because I think he is better good than decent. Prison Break. Now, Prison Break is I'd have to say he's very good. The one thing about him is his crystals. If you can't get enough crystals popped off on the ground, which you should, because I think his second ability is where he just rains down crystals. And then after that, you can use your basic attack to but send rays of his beams into the crystals, which bounce off, and then you can even bounce those ones off of other crystals to even bounce even further. It's like a whole like domino effect with Prison Break. That makes him so strong. Terrafin. Terrafin, in my eyes, is like the best of the Earth element Skylanders in Spyros Adventure. Basically, you're a man shark that's a boxer. Like, that is amazing. Then you can swim underneath the earth too. That's even cooler. Like, who doesn't want to swim under the earth? And then you get to summon out little like baby sharks to go. You don't get a minion summon them, but you just send out like baby sharks in a row just to munch down on an enemy, and it's like, that's kind of cool. And then not only that, like same with Bash, where Bash gets to like fist himself up in the air and then slam down on the ground. Terrafin just jumps up in the air out of the ground and slams down, like body slams, and it's like super cool. And that's why, as like a brawler, because a lot of these guys are like, some of these guys are just brawlers. Like the next one, Eruptor, he's a brawler. Stump Smash, brawler. Drill Sergeant, I'd kind of consider him a brawler. Slam Bam, you know, I'll consider a brawler. And Wham Show, brawler. Like, they're all brawlers. But I'd have to say Terrafin is more than likely the best brawler out of all of them. Eruptor. Now, unfortunately for Eruptor, I gotta put him in decent. Maybe. He can either be decent or bad. That's my take on him. He was in the Macy's Day Parade, I believe that is what it is, around Thanksgiving. He was like one of the biggest Skylanders you could think of. Big lava golem dude. Like, I love the concept of him. The issue with him though is he's so slow. Like for a lot of these guys, they have some decent speed. I didn't have to go through the heroic challenges to upgrade their speed, but for him it's like, yeah, you need to do that, otherwise you're going to be slow. And then not only for that, to get some of their like better heroic challenges that make you even faster, you have to get some of these other Skylanders. So it's kind of like a caveat where you gotta unlock the other Skylanders. Flameslinger is a good character. I love his archery. I love his little, where he like shoots fire arrows. He rains a bunch of fire arrows down from the air. He can dash in a flaming line, like Agni's one from Smite, or not Agni's one, his 3, I believe. But what's cool about him is that he can turn it into like a circle, and then he'll send out a giant shockwave, like a big wall of fire in a big circle. Really, really cool. Love him to pieces. My only problem though is I upgraded the wrong. Instead of upgrading that, I should have went with his dash. I went with his arrows, and later on I'm kind of like, I messed up more with that. Igniter, one of the best melee weapon guys, just like melee weapon dudes. Igniter is super fun to me. I love that he's just a flaming swordsman. He's basically, I want to say he's baby flame swordsman from Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'd have to say he is in the very good category. Love him to pieces. I would use him if any of these other guys in the very good Sonic Boom, Terrafin, Bash, and Prison Break, if I couldn't play any of those, like we were doing a tournament, I'd definitely choose Igniter. Love the fire. Love how his sword even turns from, instead of a sword, when you upgrade it, it turns into like a blue flaming axe that you can just like lift behind you and then slam down in front of you, and it just immediately like giant hammer, or not giant hammer, giant axe, and it's like super cool. Unfortunately, we get to our first really bad. It's Sunburn. Sunburn needs reworked. When I say he needs reworked, it's more like if they decided, hey, let's bring Skylanders back, you gotta fix Sunburn. Make him, first off, give him a Series 2, because probably a lot of you, maybe some of you don't know, Sunburn does not have a Series 2. He only has a Series 1, and that was in Spyros Adventure. Now, he is hard to find. I am still having a little bit of trouble finding him. I have a couple people that I might get him from. I'm excited to get him. I have seen a little bit. I know that his third ability, just like with a lot of these guys with wings, is that he flies. He's the fire dragon, basically, so he has to fly. Sorry, just burped there. But he has a basic flame attack, and then he has a dash. They really could have done something else with him to make him really cool. Like, maybe make it to where he can molt his feathers and like a little area of effect damage. He can, I'm trying to think of somebody to like an ability of any game I've ever played, but I just can't think about it right now. But he does need reworked. He really does, and it's sad because I love the name Sunburn. Like, that is such a good Phoenix name. If I had a Phoenix, I'm naming it Sunburn. Like in my Ark gameplay, because I'm gonna play a little bit of Ark. I have a couple video ideas for that. If I have to go to the desert and I find a Phoenix and I tame it, I'm naming it Sunburn. If it's a boy or girl, I don't care. Sunburn is just an awesome name in my opinion. But yeah, he has to be in the needs reworked. I wouldn't even play him in PvP. I'd rather play Cinder. Cinder is a much better dragon with the dash, the flying, and then Black Lightning or Fire. I like Black Lightning, to be honest. Camo is a very good Skylander. He, I believe, is one of the first ever Skylanders to be made, because they had 5. They had Bash, Spyro, of course. They had Tarklops, which is a pre-version of Zap. They had Boomer. Oh, and no, it wasn't Camo, it was Ghost Roaster, so that's my bad, I lied there. But Camo did have a different, they were thinking of a different type of dragon. They scrapped that dragon, and then Camo was that dragon now. He has a cool ability where, like, he has watermelons, he'll jump it, like, he'll jump at the ground, and then a huge patch of watermelons, big watermelons, will circle around him, and then they'll pop off, and it's like a, what is it? It's like a cluster bomb of watermelons. So it's super cool. And then he also has another ability where he just launches like basically not tomatoes, watermelons on the vine, and those watermelons will blow up, which is super cool. So yeah, he is like on very good, like even in PvP, I'd love using him. And I know some of these guys haven't mentioned much about PvP, like Dino, I don't think Dino Ring I did, or Prison Break I did. I feel like I missed something. But yeah, he is super good. But somebody who is one of the top tier, Stealth Elf. Stealth Elf is fast. If you want to feel like you are a Skylander on crack, like you are on drugs, like that is who you choose. You choose her. She is the basic, she is the auto attack, just genie of awesomeness. She'll attack super fast. She's amazing. Absolutely love her to pieces. She's definitely OP in a PvP setting. I have to say, it's in a PvP tournament, because we do sometimes do tournaments. Stealth Elf and Drobot have to go up against each other. I'm already gonna let you guys know right now. Drobot, that is the other OP person. Like, his shooting is super fast, and then he can summon out, like, he can send out little, like, little gears that, like, shred enemies. It's super, like, it's kind of like the auto axe from Fallout, if you've played that. Fallout 3 and, like, Fallout 76. I think Fallout New Vegas had one, too. I'm not entirely sure. But, yeah, he's awesome, too. Stump Smash. Unfortunately, Stump Smash falls in the category of bad. He's just an auto attacker. His backstory is actually more interesting. If I remember this correctly, awesome story. He was the 4th ever Skylander I got. The story was I went to Applebee's with my mom. We just got in, and I was like, hey, look at, like, I was showing my server and everything. So I was a little kid. I was like 10 years old. And I thought it was super cool, and I almost forgot him there, but luckily the waitress was like, hey, hold on, you almost forgot this, and it was super awesome. So it sucks that he's in the bad category, but he does have some issues. Like, if anything, I put him in decent just because of Mega Nut. Like, that is a funny, it's like, Mega Nut. And then you just spew out this huge Mega Nut, and then you can smack it into your enemies. Treetop Terrace, I believe, is the mission that I think he shines the most in. And yeah, it's like with a bunch of trees, but with all the little windy paths that the enemies have to walk up, you just puke up the Mega Nut and launch it down the path, and it just clears all the enemies. So I think that's something I'll like leave on there for him, is that he's decent, mainly because of that mission. His soul gem is not great, where he floats. He becomes a boat. Zook is a good character. That was Shurimbim that I'm thinking of. But Zook is still a good character. I wouldn't say he's very good. I'd say, like, the rest of these two, Camo and Stealth Elf, definitely outshine him more than that. It sucks that his catchphrase did get changed, because it used to be Bambooyah, and then it's, I believe, Locked and Loaded. It's been a minute since I've played him, but I do love him. I love his missile launching. I think he's super fun. One thing I get annoyed with is where he just summons up reeds to defend himself. That kind of annoys me, because I'd much rather him do something really cool. I don't know what he could do, but he could do something really cool. I just feel like they could have done something with that. All right, Double Trouble. Double Trouble is very good. I have him as his staff is like laser staff. He's a minion summoner. His minions can explode, and I think that's the path I went. It was like to have his minions explode. I love him. I think he was actually one of the first characters I ever got 20. So yeah, he's very good. PvP, definitely choose him. He'd be a hot contender. Spyro. Spyro is, I'd have to say, very good. Or no, I'm actually gonna say good. Mainly because he has a flight. He has a flight. Then he has a charge where he like his flames on his heads, or his horns on his head, turns to flames, and it's really really cool. Then he has his little where he spits out fireballs, of course. And then I think this is the one I'm thinking of. He has when he spits out those fireballs, he can have them circle around him. That's pretty cool too. I really like it. Voodoo. Now here's the channel mascot, and I hate that I can't put him in OP because I would love to. Actually, you know, I will put him in OP because he is a hard hitter. He has a little, I can't really call it a zip line. I'm trying to think of what it is called, but like yeah, it's kind of like a zip line that he can just like, so you see where in the image he has his chain. He can basically throw the head of his axe out and then pulls himself towards it. Now that's pretty cool when you're trying to get closer to enemies and then you just beat the crap out of them. And then he has his tripwires, which his tripwires are pretty cool because then any auto attack, I think it's a ranged auto attack. I don't think it's basic auto attack, like melee auto attack, but any ranged will just get shot immediately right back at him, which is pretty cool. I'd love to see more of Voodoo in like future games. Unfortunately, Wrecking Ball is the same as needs reworked. Actually, I'd consider him bad. He does have the cool ability where he can eat an opponent. Like, basically, if it's smaller than him, the only problem though is he's kind of tiny himself. So basically, you're only going to be eating chompies and I think habaneros. But with Wrecking Ball, he heals from eating them, and then he has a crazy wind up and then just Beyblade burst, just flying throughout the map. It's okay. I just would rather choose to play anybody else than him, to be honest. PvP, even then, like, still, like, I don't know. I'd even probably choose Sunburn over Wrecking Ball. I mean, it's a hot contender about Wrecking Ball. I loved him because I've had him forever. I just can't use him. Boomer. Now, Boomer I just most recently got, and I've played him a little bit, and I liked him. I thought he was a good Skylander. I'd love just blowing stuff up all the time. There's not really much I can say. I haven't done anything PvP with him yet, so I'm going to put him in good. He could probably drop down to decent or just go up to very good. Drill Sergeant. Now, Drill Sergeant, I know a lot of people don't like him, but to be honest, I do like him. I think he's a good character. I think he's better than Boomer. He has... So what... I think people just don't like his reload, how long it takes when he's reloading his arm cannons, but the thing is that those deal good damage. The Pirate Cove in Skylanders Spyros Adventure, I love fighting all those big Octobrutes because when they get up close, I basically charge first, ram into all of them, go through those little, no, those are Squidbillies, not Octobrutes, which is kind of a cool name, but the Squidbillies, and then you got these little Nautilus thingies, and when I'm charging, I just insta clear out of those, hit the Squidbillies hard, turn around, and then I shoot my rocket arms, and it kills them. It ends them all really cool. So like anything, that's why I think he's very good. PvP though, he falls short to a lot of these guys, and of course the OP guys too. Like Voodoo would wreck Drill Sergeant, which is kind of interesting because now if you look, he is in Spyros Adventure. He's the only really tech Skylander. He's just full on tech. Drobot, of course, we talked about a little bit earlier. He's OP. Range attacks, throwing out gears that spin like shurikens, like it's crazy. Trigger Happy. Trigger Happy is very good in my opinion. The only thing I would have to say about him is I hate how long it takes to wind up his Kamehameha with his guns. I love it, but I just hate how long it takes. Really sucks. Chop Chop. Now, Chop Chop, I gotta put in for myself, OP. Love Chop Chop. Think he's awesome. His Brambles is okay, but when it comes to like that flaming sword, and then you just heal off, you life steal off with that flaming sword, and then you got your shield to block incoming damage, it makes him so good. Like him and Stealth Elf and Voodoo and Drillbot, like those are my four. It's like, okay, these guys have to fight up against each other in some way somehow. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a complete like slobber knocker, like brawl fest. They're just gonna take over the every single time in the finals. It would be a combination of those four in the finals. They'd have to knock each other out. Cinder is very good. I love Cinder. She's way more fun than who was it that we did? They had Lightning Rod. Well, not really Lightning Rod. Who was it that we had? Was it Sunburn? Yeah, it was Sunburn. Yeah. And then not only does she have the Black Lightning, the little dash, the flying, of course, like that's everything. But whenever you do a little dash, you have these little ghost spirits that come up, and then you can turn around and use your Black Lightning attack to just blow up those ghosts to deal area of effect damage on your enemies. Like that's really good. That's what makes her a very good Skylander. Ghost Roaster, however, he's a decent Skylander. I like him. He's a little bit fun. I do know that he's the only one that can damage or can basically defeat themselves in the lobby, which is kind of interesting. But for the longest time, he escaped my grasp, and he was actually one of my favorite Skylanders for a while, and I just never had him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want him so bad. Hex. Hex, to me, is good. I like Hex more than Ghost Roaster, but of course I like Chop Chop and Cinder way more than Hex. Hex is just fun, great time killer. It's okay. Gilgrunt. Gilgrunt I have been playing for a while now. I love his new anchor hookups, where he just summons, like he has those giant anchors to launch and knock enemies. He can knock them back. He has a little water backpack that he can basically fly. It makes him faster, and sometimes like when I'm trying to do speedy through like a water realm or something, I choose him because he just makes it super easier. Originally, when I first got him, because I played Trigger Happy and Spyro way more in the when you first get the thing, you only get Gilgrunt, Trigger Happy, and Spyro. Originally, I probably would have put him as a decent one, but now I'm actually gonna put him as very good. Love playing as him, super fun. Slam Bam, I gotta say, is decent. To me, he's just a melee brute. You just fist fight everything, and then you can freeze him, which is kind of cool. But actually, I'll put him as a good. Like you can freeze your enemies, and then like when the enemies try to save the other enemies, they end up dealing more damage to their ally than they are trying to like save them. So it's kind of funny. Whamshell, I gotta put in as bad. Whamshell doesn't have much going for him. I don't find him too fun. He's another one that just like Sunburn, like I'm trying to take a bit to find. I've seen some stuff over him, so I know a little bit more than like nothing about him. But to me, he's just another melee brute, and I would rather choose Eruptor or Stump Smash, mainly just because Eruptor has that like where you can summon a lava pool around him, and then Stump Smash to me, he's like he can attack a lot faster than Whamshell. And then finally Zap. Zap, I'm gonna put as just a good Skylander. I mean, I like his lightning. I like his little where he just dashes, and then the lightning, the water behind him is lightning. To me, I find that very, very fun, and I love it. So, even in PvP, like I love like him and Flameslinger. Man, we can like run around and like try to kill each other. Like my buddy would try to like defeat me with the fire. fire dash, and I'll try to defeat him with the water lightning dash. So it's really fun for us. Now that is it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's kind of a longer one. Like, I don't even know what I was trying to say then. Like, my brain completely went out. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Tell me, for comments, tell me what your favorite Skylander is. Spyros Adventure, we'll narrow it down, because I'm going to do a bit more of these videos. So, Spyros Adventure, tell me your favorite Skylander. Like you guys know, my channel name is Voodoo. And here's the ironic part, I didn't even remember Voodoo. When I renamed my channel, I had other reasons why I wanted to name myself Voodoo, not because of this guy. But now I'm like, oh wait, I love this guy. This guy's awesome. So, but yeah, like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna do a couple more, and then we're also gonna do some other videos too, if I can figure it out. I know one of them that I'm super excited to do is a arc. It's gonna be a long video for that one. It's gonna take me a long time to do it, but it's basically where I will try to do every single achievement on arc on the PC, which is only 32, but I'm going to try to do it the hardest possibility I can. There's going to be more details about that. We're going to do a couple more of these tier lists of Skylanders. We're pretty much going to go through the 6 games. SSA, Giants, Swap Force, Trap Team, Superchargers, and Imaginators. But right now we just went through Spyros, so I'm glad to be back. I hope you guys are glad to be back to my channel. I hope that I sound way better for you guys too. I had a huge PC remake, new parts, new keyboard, mouse, mic, headset. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.